Hello, Cata World. This is Rhett Lawbuck. Excited to bring you some of my content that's going to give you some resources you can use for your students. This is a part of a keynote that I give called the Student Impact Model. And what it is 4 different key words that really you need to use as predictors of future success for your students, as well as measures of current success in terms of their leadership ability and really their impact, called the Student Impact Model. You want to cultivate these. You want to ask yourself, am I really focusing my leadership work and teaching around these? The first word is the word influence. Obviously, everything about leadership starts with influence. John Maxwell, his famous quote, "Leadership is influence." What you want to really focus in on with your students is to use the concept of a theme song. So everybody has a theme song when they're walking around, and it's either a positive one or a negative one, and it is impacting and everyone is listening to it. And so the thought for your students is, do other people want to turn them up or turn them down? Is the theme song something that is empowering, encouraging? Your influence is on all the time. That's the key message for your students. The second word is spirit. Now, I don't mean spirit like, enthusiasm, rah-rah, we love our school. I mean spirit in terms of your ability to stay positive even when you're surrounded by negative influences. A couple of other ways to think about this. I encourage you to get Seth Godin's book called The Dip. Now, Seth has been a marketing guru for years, just got into the leadership world, has another great leadership book called Tribes. But The Dip is an example of what I mean by spirit. That some people, when times get tough, they give up. And so what you want to help your students with, that's very important, is going through those challenging times that all leaders go through and be able to come out on the other side. There's also another interesting concept called the grit scale that you want to Google. Now, we got a link for you. You want to go find this out. It's about Angela Duckworth, who's a professor, researcher at Penn, and she has found out this new measure of success for students called the grit scale. That's actually, in her research, more important than IQ in terms of predicting future success, called the grit scale. Can you make it past the tough times? She found this to be the key measure of success all the way from West Point to the National Spelling Bee. Very interesting stuff. And what it talks about is, what is your spirit like? Do you have a spirit where you can make it past the tough times? So we got influence, we got spirit, and the third word in the impact model is class. Obviously, hopefully you are working with your students on being a first-class leader. 2 examples for you using Facebook. All right, these are great examples that you want to work with your students on. First one is about this line. Share your good days on Facebook. Share the positives in your life. Share your bad days with another human being. Don't use that mechanism to whine and gripe and to shout out negative things. You need another human to feed you positivity in those moments. Second lesson, key line, you're going to love this one. Do you keep your Facebook clean because you never know who may see it, or do you keep your life clean so you don't have to worry about it? A key thought for your students, 2 of them involving Facebook, and about how to be a classy student, someone who others want to follow just because you inspire them with your integrity and your honesty. Influence, spirit, class. If you're helping your students cultivate those 3 things. 4th element of the student impact model, which is the word legacy. Obviously, all of this leadership stuff is not about us. It's about helping and serving others and leaving a legacy of excellence behind. And when you help cultivate these 4 elements in your students, that's exactly what will happen. There'll be a legacy of excellence. And my final thought for you before we leave is examine your own life. The best thing that you can do as a teacher, as an activities director, is to be a person of high influence, positive spirit, classy person that's interested in leaving a legacy. Thanks, and good luck out there.